Here we are. We are live for A-League Men's Round 2 of the 2024-25 season. First of two streams today. It's Adelaide Mariners, the mighty Central Coast Mariners, in action once again this week. We were live just a few days ago for the Mariners match in the Asian Champions League Elite, where they did unfortunately fall to defeat against Shandong. Not Shandong, Shandong Taishan. We did fall to defeat to them as well. But fellow Chinese side, Shanghai Port, 3-2 loss in the end for the Mariners. Need to bounce back here, especially after the 0 draw against Victory last week, coming up against a very tricky Adelaide United side today. We've got the lineups here on the screen. We'll keep you guys updated to the lineups throughout this match, which is about to kick off. Leanne was in the chat earlier. G'day to Valhoon. Welcome. Salobot FN says hi. Hello to you, Salobot. And New Jets Football is here as well. Says, hey, mate, how was the game last night? Well, I mean, for Newcastle Jets fans, as you are, of course, New Jets fan. New Jets Football. It was a very, very enjoyable match for Newcastle Jets fans. But as a neutral, I really enjoyed the match. I went down to the game, which was a lot of fun. We put out a match day vlog, which is out on the channel right now, if you want to check it out. It was a really good experience. MacArthur SC was sort of started brightly and were looking dangerous on the counter-attack. Got that early goal in the first half. I think 19 minutes in, they got that goal. Yakalish scoring again. And Newcastle Jets looked good in that first half, but they really turned it on in the second. And Eli Adams, I mean, what a second half from him last night. Quite incredible. Just before this game kicks off, actually. Let's pull that up. Let's have a look at some of the stats from last night real quick. So it was 2-1 in the end to Newcastle Jets. Eli Adams with the double. Let's make this a bit bigger. Incredible performance in the end from the Newcastle Jets, who really had to dig deep at the end. You can see here, MacArthur racked up 18 shots last night, 7 on target, just 10 shots. 2 on target for the Jets. So the 2 on target shots with their 2 goals. There you go. Possession stats were favoring MacArthur. They were just, Newcastle Jets were just absolutely sitting back for the last 10, 15 minutes, which of course they had to do. MacArthur absolutely chasing the game. And then that incredible penalty save right at the death last night. So the vlog for that match is out right now on the channel. Very dramatic indeed. So it's great that we've been to a couple of dramatic games in the first couple of weeks. Salabot, if we could just avoid any spamming, my friend, that would be greatly appreciated. Not setting up any moderators at the moment. I appreciate the offer, though. Decent crowd building at Cooper's, says New Jets Football. It looks like it, too. It looks like it. And the teams are in the tunnel right now, about to come out. Very exciting, this game, because Adelaide United, the home stadium, Cooper's Stadium, they have this new safe standing area. And this is the first game that we're seeing in action. So it's where... So the teams are coming out right now as we speak. Adelaide United, Central Coast Mariners. Feel free to drop some predictions in the chat. What's the feelings heading into this game? G'day, Dom. Super Eli Adams. That's right. I mean, what a performance from the young attacker who scored 2 really nice goals. Really, really nice goals. Intellectual says, I'll be at our next home game. Love Hindmarsh. Considered by many to be one of the top A-League stadiums. Just a perfect size as well, not too big, and always seems to be a really strong atmosphere. So, lineups, let's talk about it real quick as we see Owen here in the chat as well. Eloyd in the chat. Great to see everyone here for the first of 2 live watch-alongs today. We will be live for the Melbourne Derby a little bit later tonight. Jovanovic starting up top for the Reds, and then just behind him, Ayubi, Mork, and Clough. We've got Allegich and Barnett in midfield. The back 4 for the Reds we expect to be Kito, Kikianis, Isaias, and Parias. So, still, no Jordan Elsey, no Bart Vreens. Some concerns for Adelaide in the defensive areas there. So, Isaias again dropping into a centre-back role. James Delianov is goalkeeper for Adelaide United tonight. So, Central Coast Mariners, just one change to the lineup that played both round 1 against Melbourne Victory, as well as the Asian Champions League Elite game midweek. Bailey Brantman starts tonight. I love it. I love it. Bailey Brantman has looked so bright in his couple substitute appearances this season, and has deserved this start. He is starting in place of Brazilian winger Vitor Feijão. We'll keep an eye on exactly whether, who's going to be on what wing. We have seen both of those guys, Docker and Brantman, play on either flank, so we'll keep an eye on that one for sure. Brad Tapp, of course, starting in defense once again alongside Brian Kautek. And, of course, it is a 3rd consecutive start for Dylan Parage-Cullen. I mean, this is one of the huge talking points for the Mariners early on in this season. The young goalkeeper given the opportunity. And he's looked very good so far. Had a great game midweek away to China. Dom says, well-deserved start for Brantman. Absolutely. Absolutely. Natalia in the chat says, Mariners by 3 today. Hey, I'd love that. Dude, I'm confident that Mariners could get 3 points tonight. The last couple games for us, look, 0 draw against Victory, the loss midweek against China, we were good in both games. We were good. We put in promising performances in both games, and it's building here. It's building for a potential Mariners win. Intellectual says 2-1 to the Reds for me. Central Coast Mariners 2 fatigued early. Adelaide are fresh. That's a fair point. Obviously, Adelaide United did not play round 1. They had a bye. As we know, 13 teams in the competition this season, so we have byes this season. So, yeah, that may play a factor. We'll see. Look, it's an interesting call from Mark Jackson to not make that many changes throughout the week. I mean, 3 games now in, 8 days, and there's only been 1 change to the starting 11 across all 3 games, which is pretty incredible. Here we go. We are kicking off at Cooper Stadium. Beautiful A-League Stadium. It's been, we had a crazy start to round 2 last night with the MacArthur Jets game. I'm sure we are set for more drama in this game. And the following games as well. Melbourne Derby coming up later on. We're going to be live for that one out later tonight. We are also going to be, we're not going to be live for the distance derby, but certainly we'll be keeping an eye on that one. Perth Glory Wellington later tonight as well. Auckland, Sydney tomorrow. Western United take on Wanderers. Luka Jovanovic leading the line for Adelaide tonight. A lot of pressure on his young shoulders. As Alfie McCalmont is going to get us underway here. Arloson in the chat, g'day, says, my predictions, Central Coast Mariners 3-1. 3-1. And as Newey Jets football says here, A-League Saturdays are a go. That's right. This is, we love A-League Saturdays. We love having the 3 back-to-back games. Last week we had the earlier kickoff, the Auckland game. This time around, it's the later kickoff. We've got Perth Glory hosting their first fixture of the season against Wellington, which I'm really actually curious to watch later tonight. It looks like Docker is on that left-hand side tonight. Bailey Brantman on the right, but you can see how this is sort of a feature of the Mariners. Those wide players for Central Coast Mariners will tuck inside quite a lot, allowing the likes of Rue or Moragas to venture forward upfield. Central Coast Mariners wearing their very clean-looking away strip tonight, the all-navy blue, delicious kit. We're rocking the navy blue, of course. Got to match them. Owen's back in a 1-1 draw. G'day, Graham. Graham says, thanks, Lockie. Watching from London, 7:05 a.m. here. Graham, thanks for tuning in. There you go. Hope all is well over in London, England. And Natai says, watching from Dubai. Great to see our international viewers. Dom says, I think Adelaide start well in the first 15 to 20 minutes. And if the Mariners can hold on, they'll be fine. Yeah, look, and this one could really swing either way. I mean, if the Reds at home could be really, really strong and really dangerous, but when you look at the last couple of meetings between these two sides, it's been pretty mixed, actually. The Mariners, actually, this fixture was round 1 last season, you might remember, and Adelaide winning 3-0. Mariners were pretty poor on that day. Did suffer a couple of injuries, unfortunately, as well as other Kowal chasing one in behind. Delianov gets the clearance. But then later on in the season, Mariners scored 4 away at Cooper Stadium. And of course, these two teams have played in some exciting finals over the last few years as well, some semi-finals. They played in an elimination final a few years ago as well. So there's almost, you don't want to go as far as saying a rivalry, but there is. It's always a feisty clash. As Alfie McCalmont flies in with the challenge. Another important game here for McCalmont, and it looks like the free kick has been awarded the way of Adelaide. I mean, did he get the ball? Okay. The camera angle isn't great, but that was a heavy contact from Alfie McCalmont, that's for sure. Newey Jets asks, what have you made of the content the A-League has produced so far on YouTube? I'm loving it. It's great. It's awesome. Hey, it's been one of the exciting talking points early on in this season as Adelaide, they whip in this free kick. Good defensive header from Caltac. Barnett sends it back in and away by Kuol. It's awesome. It's great to see so many shows on the A-League's YouTube channel. I'm sure you guys have seen them. And a good variety of shows as well. I saw Danny McBreen was doing like a tactical show. They have more of a long-form show with Max Rushton and Archie Thompson, Torrance Sorensen. So a good variety of shows, which is good, which is what we need. And yeah, this is the kind of thing that the A-League fans, I mean, you look at the comments and it's just full of people being like, this is, thank you. This is what we've been asking for. And, this kind of stuff, this content midweek, those are the kind of stuff that helps fans stay engaged with the league and helps the league stay relevant, in people's brains and establish a more sort of genuine connection with the league. So it's great to see. Very, very happy about it. Whereas Trent Sainsbury, unfortunately, Trent Sainsbury is out injured and will be out injured for the remainder of this calendar year. The Mariners have said that Mark Jackson, the head coach, has said that we hope to see Trent Sainsbury return in the new year. So obviously a huge blow for the Mariners early on in the season, which was sort of like kept under wraps for a little bit, but they announced it. I think it was like the day before the first game of the season last week. Hey, in Mark Jackson's pre-game press conference, he was like, "Yeah, Trent's out for the rest of this year." So yeah. G'day, Butter. Good to see you here as well. Jimbo in the chat. That's right. A 1-1 draw for the Matildas early this morning as well. The football does not stop. The football does not stop. So 5 minutes in here. Dude, decent number of Mariners fans in the away bay as well. Always good to see. Stormaroo looking for a ball. That's a great pass down the right-hand side. Edmondson's chasing it, and we'll get to it first. Edmondson swings it in for Quoll. Clearance is made by Kikianis, and Adelaide deal with it in the end. Dude, I will say as well, I love Adelaide United kit this season. I think it's one of their best kits ever. A super clean and classic design. It's nothing fancy, but it doesn't have to be. They wear red, and that's what they're doing. But I love the little details. If you see the logo on some of the close-up shots, the logo on Adelaide's shirt, it's like all white. I don't know what you call that. When you make sort of your logo, you don't do it like with its usual colors. It's sort of an all-white look. It's really cool. Kaltak, crucial. Clearance at the back. Already Brian Kaltak with a couple important interventions early on. Still the distance derby, asks Marcus. Yeah, I mean, who knows? Is it? Like, what do you guys think? Is Perth Wellington still the distance derby, even though technically Perth Auckland is further? I think we should keep it Perth Wellington, just because that's the tradition. But if people wanted to change it to Perth Auckland, you know what? They both can be distance derbies. Why not? They both can be distance derbies. What is the crowd? Well, it's looking strong. That's for sure. It's looking very, very strong. Cooper Stadium, fantastic stadium. I'd love to get there one day. It just looks like such a great stadium for A-League football. It's looking at least 10,000 fans in attendance. It could be pushing well above that. Looking across. There's, tell you what, honestly, on that far side, where the camera is looking directly at, on that far side, there's not many spare seats at all. Very strong indeed. Dom says, love when teams color black their logos with sponsors. Looks amazing. Marcus is back in a 1-1 draw for this game. 7 minutes in, 0-0. Adelaide United, Central Coast Mariners, both looking for their first wins of this new A-League season. Of course, Adelaide sat out round one. Tell you what, that must have been tricky. That must be so tricky to be the team that has to have a bye round one, all the build up to the A-League season, and you don't even get your season underway. You have to wait one more week. So a lot of anticipation building for the Reds, that's for sure. But it came maybe a bit too soon as well, because they're still missing Jordan Elsey and Bart Vreens, which I'm sure if those guys were fit, they'd probably be starting. That's probably Calvert's go-to centre-back partnership. Dylan Parias playing at right back tonight. Expect him to get high up the pitch on every occasion. As the Reds are building nicely here, and Parias has space on the right. The short ball's nice for Clough, who cuts it back in, but misses everyone. But that was good play, dude. That was good play. The long ball to find Paris and then the run from Clough. Central Coast Mariners having to sit a little deep early on here as well, hey? Nate's back in a Phoenix win tonight. I think they're favourites. But you never know what to expect, especially with a Perth Glory home game. When Perth are at home, anything can happen. We learned that last season. So there could well be goals in it tonight. But I'm very curious to see how the distance derby plays out later tonight. You got a Phoenix side who have gone through a number of changes. There's a lot of new players in that team. And can improve in a lot of areas. Of course, it'll take a few weeks for the new look Phoenix side to gel. So very curious to see how they go up against Glory tonight. They drew 1-1 with Western last week, Wellington Phoenix. So Perth Glory, they need to respond after last week's shocking 6-1 loss. They just simply need to get a result. Great set play here by Adelaide. And the far post, I think, was Stefan Mork. He almost found it. The Mariners under the pump here, 9 minutes in, as the Reds look to make an early start here in front of the home support. Mork, Ayubi's on the left, looking for the opportunity to deliver. Here we go. He's got the space now. That's a good pass. Mork in the box. Dude, look at the defenders here for the Mariners. So many Mariners players in the box. It's come across to Clough and Jovanovic. Whoa, what a chance. It's still there. It's in. Adelaide score. Calamity at the back for the Mariners, and Adelaide do make the breakthrough early on. Well, it was a scramble. I mean, incredible from Caltech to make that clearance. But what happened from there? It was just a mix-up in the box. 10 minutes in, Adelaide lead 1-0. Ball came in from Clough. Caltech with the initial clearance. And, oh, dude, I mean, it's just a comedy of errors at the back, unfortunately. Scrappy goal indeed. I mean, the clearance is like off tap. Fell to Kual. He couldn't control it. And then it was Jovanovic. Yep. I mean, Luka Jovanovic, I think it was, who will get the goal in the end and opens his account for the season, the young striker. But that is a poor start at the back for the Mariners. Central Coast defensively were really, really solid last week against Victory. But that was, I mean, it's just unlucky. You know, Caltech's clearance goes straight into a teammate, falls kindly for Jovanovic as a goal. But credit to Adelaide, man, for applying the pressure. Marcus says, are we witnessing an Adelaide implosion and a Mariners disaster class? I fear if you're lucky. Oh, I don't think so. This game will be close. It should be close. As Intellectual mentions here, yeah, it was a clearance that hit the Mariners defender. Yeah. I mean, Caltech did well to block that initial shot from Jovanovic, but Brad Tapp was right in the way. But like, he's not doing anything wrong. He's where he's meant to be, and just falls really kindly for Adelaide there. So the Reds, what a start! That is big for them. So Mariners, how do we respond after this setback? Appreciate you guys tuning in for this live watch along. Adelaide up 1-0. Hit the like button to support the channel and the stream. You can also consider sending through a super chat. We're going to be live later tonight as well for the Sydney Derby. Sorry, not the Sydney Derby, Melbourne Derby. Sydney Derby was last week. It's derbies all over the place earlier on in the A-League season. Sydney Derby last week, Melbourne Derby tonight. And then next week, we've got Auckland Phoenix for the first New Zealand rivalry match. So it's all excitement. Round 5, which is Unite round, we've got another Sydney Derby and an F3 Derby. So it's Derby. Appreciate that, Intellectual. Let's go, Saban. That's right. Let's go. Too many derbies, says Valhoon. Too many derbies. Adelaide coming forward again. Caltech for the third time already today with a important clearance. Alagic. Great run, Alagic. Great run. Oh, this is dangerous from the Reds. Moragas makes a clearance, and I'll tell you what, Mariners just have to get themselves on the ball here. And Docker just gives it straight up for a throw. 13 minutes in, Adelaide 1, Mariners 0, and it's all red at the moment. It is all red. On the broadcast, showing some stats, 7 touches in the opposition box for Adelaide, just the 1 so far for Mariners. Just the 1. Adam in the chat, welcome, says struggling without a centre back. The Mariners. Both teams missing key central defenders for tonight's matchup. I mean, great to see a packed stadium at Cooper Stadium. Very passionate fan base, the Reds. We haven't even had a chance. I mean, all the action has been on sort of like the right-hand side of the field. We haven't had a chance to look at the left-hand side of the field where the new safe standing zone is located for the Red Army. So we'll keep an eye on that. It's behind the goal to the left. Mariners now with a chance to build up from the back. You can see, as Mariners like to do, transition to sort of a back 3. Storm Roos pushing a little bit higher from right back. But it's not quite working out, going for the Mariners. Shifting forward. Need to try and win the ball high up the park here. Because Adelaide, I mean, I think it was Intellectual who mentioned it earlier. I mean, the fact that Mariners might be a little bit, just a little bit tired from the busy week. Traveling to and from China. That game in China was on Tuesday. Traveling to Adelaide yesterday. Whereas the Reds, well, this is Adelaide's first competitive game since the Australia Cup semi-final, which was many weeks ago now. Many weeks ago. As Lectural says, Reds have been so attacking and quick moving. They've been moving the ball very nicely, hey? Mariners having to sit. You can see how deep the Mariners are sitting here. That's a great pass into the feet of Ayubi. Stephen Mork's almost in behind and tap. Behind for a Reds corner. Well, 15 minutes in, this is a fantastic start from Adelaide United and Mariners. We aren't really keeping up with them at the moment. Nate says here, Mariners, come on. Nate, I hope you don't mind me referring to you as Nate. So it goes Mariners. Again, just one change from the lineup from the last couple games. Bailey Brandman in on the right-hand side. It's the same back line. Parach Cullen as well in goals. 18-year-old goalkeeper. But the Mariners simply haven't had anything going their way in this game as of yet. That corner from the Reds is well overhit. That is a shocking corner. And Zach Clough is usually spot on with his deliveries, but that sailed well over everyone. Wow. The Wretch says, come on, Adelaide Jets fan. Well, I'm sure you'll be very happy with last night's result with Jets winning away to MacArthur. Our match day vlog is out for that game right now. I traveled down to Campbelltown last night to catch MacArthur Jets. Really fun game. As a neutral, really fun game. Even better if you're a Newcastle fan, but I enjoyed it as a neutral, that's for sure. So, can we get something going here? Qual, Docker. Just going to try and shift the team upfield. Get a bit of territory. Here come the Mariners. Moragas, an early cross. Poor ball. Moraga is usually one of the better crosses in the league, too. That is one of his strengths, but maybe not the right decision there. Oh, Brandman wins the ball high up the park here. Here's Kowal edge of the box. Other Kowal's shot. And that will be Mariners' first corner of the game. There we go. There we go. So, Mikael Docker to deliver an outswinger here. First corner of the game for the Mariners. Tap is heading up there. Caltac as well, of course. Edmondson, Qual in the middle. Keep an eye out for the tall guys. Alfie McCalmont's in there as well. The delivery's decent. Oh! Important defensive header. And the Reds should be able to break clear. Saturday, Arvo A-League. Does it get any better? Hit the like button to support the stream. We were live last week for the Sydney Derby, which was a very entertaining watch. And this is the first of 2 live streams today. We are going to be live later on for the Melbourne Derby. Melbourne City, Melbourne Victory. Patrick Isnorbo, Melbourne Victory head coach, coming up against his former team, which is sure to add some spice to the rivalry, that's for sure. 2 big games coming up tomorrow as well. Auckland, Sydney. Two teams who won round 1. Another home game for Auckland. And then Western United versus Wanderers. Western United's first home game of the season. Wanderers, does one matter start tomorrow? That's the question. Maybe. We'll see. 19 minutes have gone by. Adelaide 1, Mariners 0. And Central Coast had an opportunity from that corner a moment ago, but haven't been able to just have any sustained pressure going forward. Hey. Yeah. Only Edit says, hey, Lockie. A shout to Pana Ibisuki at Western United as they play a 4-4-2 is Gomis, famous for his Galatasaray days and Swansea, and now plays in the J-League. I think a perfect fit. Well, especially if he's gone to the J-League. I mean, we have seen players, if they sort of make the move across from Europe to Asia, then could find themselves down to Australia. We have sort of seen that trajectory before. That's an interesting shout. Got a couple of good young strikers there at Western. Michael Roos, Noah Botic. Ollie Laval started last week alongside Ibisuki in round 1. Obviously, such an important player for Western this season. Their new signing, Hiroshi Ibisuki, who, of course, former Adelaide United player. And again, just a real bizarre sort of talking point towards the end of last season when it was revealed that Ibisuki was going to depart. A lot of Reds fans not happy with it. A lot of Reds fans not happy with the decision to let Ibisuki go. I mean, who knows what was going on there, but Ibisuki now at a new A-League club in Western United, and it's a huge pickup for Western because Ibisuki, so tall, so strong. He was in the double digits. I think he scored like 14, 15 goals, something like that last season. He's a fantastic A-League striker. So it's a great pickup for Western, who struggled to score goals last season as well. Reds, again, the Mariners unable to break out. The Reds winning the ball back just so easily at the moment. For the Mariners, have to find a way to gain some control in this game. The home side have dominated the opening 21 minutes. Here we go. The Reds finding the space again. Ayubi on the left, inside the box. Ayubi trying to get around Rue. Does well. Brad Tapp with a crucial block. But Austin Ayubi, who you might remember, scored a cracking goal in the Australia Cup quarterfinal against Western Sydney Wanderers. Getting an A-League start here. That's a great pass as well to find Clough, who shoots, and it's wide of Parade Cullen's goal, but it's another warning sign for the Mariners, this Adelaide team. Well, they want to score goals. Yes, as always, we will be doing halftime griddle. Halftime griddle. Dude, I'll tell you what. The attendance for this game here could well be over 12,000, which I think would be great. G'day, Almost Clutch in the chat. Have you on the TV in the lobby at work? Don't get me in trouble, Coasty. Wow. Well, I appreciate you putting the Coastwood Football Stream on your lobby TV. That's an honor. I appreciate the commitment. 22 minutes in. Adelaide 1, Mariners 0. Luki Ivanovic scoring early in this game after a bit of a mix-up at the back for the Mariners. Couldn't really do... I don't know if we could have, done it any better. It was just a bit of an accident in the back that gifted the goal to Ivanovic. But Mariners Looking to spring forward now. Left-hand side, McCalmont. That's a throw for the Mariners. Throwing in a good position here. Throwing in a great position. Got to try and get some more numbers forward here. It just feels like we haven't had much going on going forward. Need some more options. Storm Roo's quite high right now on that right flank. Long ball towards Edmondson. But again, it's come and stuck a little bit too easily for the Mariners. Caltac. Tap. Mariners again building up from the back. But we have it in the opposition half, which is a good sign. Good little spell of possession here, but a lot of long balls too, we're noticing. Hey, Caltac with a switch to Docker. This is really testing Adelaide's defensive setup here. Mariners knocking it around, just looking for the opening, looking for the space. Storm Roos closed down pretty quickly. It's just not really showing up. You can see Mariners players talking to each other here, trying to create the opportunity to move forward. I mean, it's a good spell in possession that we have here. Docker, that's a nice pass. Brantman gets it along to Roo. Storm Roo into the feet of Edmondson. Bailey Brantman. And that's a good delivery for Kowal. Oh, well, that was good. See, that was a lot better. That was a lot better. That was a lot better from Mariners. I mean, a patient build-up. Edmondson knocking it down for Brantman. And that was a great delivery. That was a really, really nice delivery from Bailey Brantman. Left foot, just chipping it in over the defense, but not so far that Delianov will come and claim it. And Alu Kowal, he's a tricky one to sort of generate the power necessary. Hey, great chance there for the Central Coast Mariners. Adelaide back in control here. After the Reds took that early lead, this game has sort of slowed down a little bit in terms of its pace. Both teams taking their time building up from the back. Of course, both teams, I should say. Well, that's a good run from Ayubi and a great challenge from Tap. Both teams missing some key central defensive names. Adelaide without their new signing Bart Vriens, who's arrived from the Netherlands. He's been struggling with injury, just not quite ready yet. Jordan Elsey, who's also returned to the side, is not in the starting 11 tonight. For the Mariners, of course, as we were talking about earlier, Trent Sainsbury out for the rest of this calendar year. Hopefully he does return January. Mariners captain for this year as well. Hey. Great question, Adam. Great to see you here as well, Adam. Thanks for the question. How long do you think it will take to build chemistry with our new players? Well, and I think this goes for pretty much all teams in the league. I think maybe until maybe round 5 or 6 is until we see these teams really sort of get properly gelling. I think it will take a few weeks. Look, the Mariners, to be fair, the thing that has helped the Mariners is the fact that we've had game time in the Asian Champions League Elite. We've already played 3 games in that competition. Same can be said for Sydney FC. And I think that is why Sydney look so good already. The fact that they have had that competitive game time. So that has helped. I mean, to be fair, Adelaide had a good Australia Cup run to the semi-finals as well. But yeah, I think maybe around 5 or 6. Marcus, great to see you in the chat as always, Marcus. And of course, a Sydney FC fan, as we know from the icon. Marcus asks, do you think the Mariners qualify for the next round of AFC? Same with Sydney. I think Sydney definitely qualify for the next round of qualifiers. We saw Sydney lose their first game of the Asian Champions League 2 midweek against Sanfrecce Hiroshima. But they were good in that game. Sydney were very good in that loss, losing 2-1, narrow one in the end. And for Mariners, look, it's going to be interesting. We've lost our first 3 games, which is obviously hugely disappointing. But performances in 2 out of 3 of those games were really good. Were really, really good. So, Mariners still have 3 more home games coming up in the Asian Champions League Elite. Got to try and win at least 2 of those. The opposition, the tricky thing in the Asian Champions League Elite is that the opposition is obviously of the highest level. They're just so good, these teams that we're coming up against. So, if we could just try and get some wins in our home games, Mariners could well go through. Of course, as we know, in the Asian Champions League Elite, it's the league system. So the top 8 teams go through out of 12. So we could well go through top 8 out of 12. Just need to get a few wins on the board. The performances have been there. They've been promising. Not quite getting the results. Very close midweek away to Shanghai Port, losing 3-2 in the end, the Mariners. UB Jets says Austin AUB looks great. Also, I've been watching Is it Piraeus? I always get it confused. Piraeus. Anyway, he seems to be overlapping and getting forward as much as possible. Yeah, he's a natural attacker, Dylan Piraeus. At Wanderers, at Western, we've seen him play a lot higher as sort of like a winger. Even at Western, I remember him playing as a striker at times as well. So this is a guy who's pretty versatile. Being utilized in a right back position. Yavi Lopez is on the bench, but Piraeus just provides a bit more pace. Only edit says Quadraro to Wellington, struggling at Fiorentina, world class at Juve with Dybala and Ronaldo. Very similar player to Douglas Costa. Thoughts? Is that the is he Colombian? The name sounds familiar. Quadrado, right? Former Juventus player, yeah. As the Adelaide attack, they come forward again, but Mariners deal with it at the back. Quadrado, is that right, only editors? I mean, that'd be great. If we can get players who've been playing at the likes of Juventus in the A-League, that's we'd take anyone. G'day, Ryan. Great question. Ryan Sheriffs asks here, if Auckland win 2 out of the next 3 games, do you think they become title contenders? I think that would probably still be too early to suggest that they would be title contenders. If they win 2 out of their first 3 games, I think they're certainly finals contenders. I think already you could probably make an argument that they'll play finals this season. That was so impressive round 1. If they defeat Sydney, I don't know if they're going to be title contenders, but we could certainly talk about them being finals contenders. But pretty early on in the season. That's probably going to be a foul. McCalmont with a heavy challenge on Barnett, and he's already been spoken to once, I think, McCalmont earlier on in the game. So just going to be careful. Very excited to see how Auckland go tomorrow against Sydney. MacArthur Bulls fan for life says, hello, if I knew the game yesterday, I would have went. Too bad we lost. It was a great game, wasn't it? You should have gone anyway, Bulls fan for life. It was a good vibe down there. MacArthur, it's a unique vibe. We sat on the grassy hill, and it's a unique way to watch a football game, that's for sure. Brought a picnic rug. It was a chill vibe, but it was fun. It was different. That's what we love about the A-League. Every stadium's different. It's great. Mick Aldoka looking to launch something for the Mariners down the left. We have passed the half an hour mark. Adelaide still with a 1-0 lead here. Luka Jovanovic scoring pretty early on. The Mariners were on the back foot for the first 10, 15 minutes, but we've started to regain a little bit of control. Newy Jets here asks, do you think Koala and Edmondson are goal scorers for the Mariners moving forward? Or do you think they should strengthen in the January transfer window? Seen plenty of talks about this. So it's an interesting question. So Alu Kowal, because he didn't score many goals last season for the Mariners. Can't remember off the top of my head how many goals he did score. It was only 7 or 8 or something like that. He scored some important goals. Don't get me wrong. We love Alu Kowal. Ryan Edmondson scored a few goals. Obviously, a couple important ones in the grand final. I think they play their roles really well. I think the Mariners showed last year that they're not the kind of team to have they're not like nothing against Perth Glory, but they're not like a Perth Glory where they have an Adam Taggart who's going to score 20 goals a season. They're a team who are capable of scoring goals from all across the pitch, whether that's Mickey Docker, who scored a great goal midweek. Bailey Brantman's capable of scoring. I'm sure Alfred McCalmont might chip in with a couple goals this season as well. Worth mentioning as well, Mariners are missing a few attacking players. No DePizio, no Thea Harris, who are still out, and a bunch of young guys coming through. So I'm okay if these guys aren't necessarily scoring goals every single week, as Kowal's trying to get in behind. I'm okay if these guys aren't scoring every single week. You know, they do play a great role up top. They do a lot of running, both very physical players. I have said it quite a lot. I would prefer to see maybe DiPizio come in for one of these guys to play as like a number 10 rather than going for the two strikers. That's just me personally. So, the Reds able to slow things down once again here on the ball. Mariners not looking to press all that much. Long ball looking for Mork. Oh, great pass too. Mork! Dude, who played that long ball? Was it Isaias? It probably was, I tell you what. That was fantastic. That long ball, and Stephen Mork was almost in behind. It was Isaias. What a pass, dude. And just his touch just let him down there, Stephen Mork. Great opportunity for the Reds. And you can see the reaction from Stephen Mork on the replay. He knew that was a big opportunity. Football Friends with Ben and Steph. I'm sure a lot of you guys listen to that podcast. One of the great A-League podcasts around at the moment. Stephen Mork of Adelaide United and Ben Garuccio of Western United have a podcast together. Check it out if you haven't done so. Great stuff. Great stuff. G'day, Ethan. Was Adelaide's goal good? I mean, it was a bit scrappy, to be fair. It was a bit scrappy. It was just a mix-up at the back from the Mariners, and Jovanovic was there, right place, right time to tap home. But there's the failed clearance from Caltac. Unfortunately, fell very kindly for Adelaide. Unfortunately, from a Mariners point of view, passing accuracy for the Reds up to 91%. 83 for the Mariners. Reds looking dangerous once again. 10 minutes to go in this half. This is the first of 2 live streams today. We're going to be live later tonight for the Melbourne Derby. Hit the like button to support the channel and the stream. You can also consider sending through a super chat. Very happy to see you guys here for this earlier kickoff tonight. I say early. We kicked off at 5 o'clock Australian Eastern Daylight Time. But we're usually doing live streams for the later games, the primetime games. But because the Mighty Mariners were playing tonight, and it was Adelaide's first game of the season, we had to jump on the live stream for this one as well. Adam asks, how does the Channel 10 football trivia work? I heard it's in between the 2 games today. I have no idea. I haven't heard about this. Are they doing some sort of trivia thing with fans on the broadcast? That sounds cool if that's the thing that they're doing. So Adelaide with a free kick here. Pretty fair way out. 30, 35 meters maybe for the Reds. Ball is deep, but it's pretty easy claim for Parech Cullen, who's looking for the early... I mean, that goal kick wasn't all the best. And Adelaide will send it long. Hocko in the chat. It's good that the Mighty Jets won. Big win for Newcastle last night. 2-1 away to MacArthur. Won't be doing a live watch along for the Auckland game tomorrow. But I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Newey Jets is doing a watch along for the Auckland game tomorrow. Newey Jets, can you please confirm that? I believe Newey Jets is doing a watch along for the Auckland game tomorrow. So I'll have to make sure to tune into that one. I do know of Anthony Golek. Yes, played at a number of A-League clubs, Anthony Golek, back in the day. Adelaide, both Adelaide and Mariners. He played at both teams. Western Sydney Wanderers as well, Golek. Sydney FC. I think he played at Wellington. He played at a number of clubs, Anthony Golek. Perth Glory, I think, as well. Yeah. Iconic A-League player. Ethan says, I live in Christchurch, New Zealand, so I don't know who to support, Auckland or Wellington Phoenix. Well, if my geography serves me correctly, I believe Wellington is closer to Christchurch, if I'm not mistaken. So, I mean, you could go for Wellington in that sense, them just being the closer team. But Auckland, like if you're sort of looking to support a new team in the A-League, if you feel like you're new to the A-League, Auckland might be the way to go. There's nothing wrong with that either. Hocko suggesting that Ethan should go for Auckland as they are the new team if you are only just starting to go for a team. There you go. Intellectual says go for Wellington. New Jets here says, yeah, man, at this stage, all set. Would love to see everyone there for such an entertaining match. Indeed. It's shaping up to be like, obviously, the Melbourne Derby is the big one for this week. But aside from that, dude, tomorrow's match, there's also Nayubi. Makes a dangerous run into the box. But again, Tap is there to deal with it. Edmondson can get this going. Oh, that's a bad challenge. That's a really bad challenge. Got to be at least a yellow for Kikianis here. Terrible challenge from the young defender, who's just completely axed Ryden Edmondson, who is springing away. That's the clearest yellow card you'll see all day. Edmondson was away and, well, absolutely zero intention to play the ball there from young Kikianis. So, as we were saying just a moment ago, Auckland-Sydney. Huge game tomorrow. Two teams who won opening day. Sydney, big things expected for them this season, but Auckland FC made a great start in that win last week against Brizzy. Of course, Brisbane Roar have the bye this round. No Brisbane playing this weekend. Brisbane in action against Sydney next week. Great question, Ryan. It's always a big talking, it's always a big discussion in Australian football. What parts of Australia and New Zealand would you like the A-League to expand into? For me, the one that is number one for me that we have to see next for me is a second team in Queensland. Yeah, I've been very vocal about that for a long time. I think if you look at the state, Stephen Mork fires wide. Great chance for Adelaide again. For me, second team in Queensland, whether that's Gold Coast, another team in Brisbane, Sunshine Coast, North Queensland, bring back the Fury. I think we need another team in Queensland. It's a big state. It's got a big population. Canberra's probably the next one. Would love to see Tassie as well, as Relic says here as well. Rather see Hobart first. The only one thing that maybe is letting down Tassie for me is the fact that they don't really have a proper rectangular stadium, as far as I'm aware. Western United have taken a few home games down there and they've played at the ovals. They've just got ovals down there. So as far as I'm aware, there's not like a full-on proper rectangular stadium that could host professional A-League football. So that's the thing that's letting Tassie down. Love to see it. Don't get me wrong. Would love to see an A-League team in Tasmania. But I don't know if we want to see them playing at ovals. Bring back the Fury. I agree. Marcus says Canberra almost announced any day now from rumours. I mean, hopefully. Hopefully it does get officially announced. Canberra joining the A-League men's competition. Ethan also says, I'd love to see Canberra. It'd be awesome. It would be awesome. And then after that, surely it's going to be another Queensland team. I mean, if you think about it, it's just crazy that we only have one A-League team in the entirety of Queensland. This huge state with huge population centres all over the place. And they've got one team. We have 5 teams in New South Wales. 5. And yes, obviously, I guess a higher population. When you look at Sydney, the Central Coast, Newcastle, busy area. But if you got 5 teams in New South Wales, and if you got 3 teams in Victoria, surely just give one more to Queensland. Yeah, that's my thought as well. Intellectual. This is a great one. If Canberra join, you can have the capital clash versus Wellington. I like that. That's cool. Then move the distance derby to Auckland versus Perth. Intellectual. That's a very intellectual point, I should say. Very good. Ethan also says it's weird that there's only one in Queensland. Adelaide continuing to build here, looking for goal number 2. Alligator swings it in. Mork's header. Over the bar. Not too far away again for the Reds. As Ryan says here, there is talks of New Zealand getting a third A-League team once the Christchurch Stadium is completed. I didn't know they were building a stadium in Christchurch. It'd be cool to see. I don't know if we'll see it anytime soon, just because I feel like there's probably a number of locations in Australia that we'll see set up. And especially because we've just got Auckland. So it may be some time before we see maybe a third New Zealand team. It'd be cool. It'd be cool, though. G'day, Matthew. Matthew says Mariners looked so fatigued Sad to see. Should the A-League adopt a similar squad sizes to the Premier League? And I think the Mariners lack experience. Should they adopt similar squad sizes to the Premier League? I mean, maybe in the future. I think the thing that is maybe holding that back is it's probably a financial thing. You'd think, hey. So I think once more money's involved in the game, then maybe we'll see squads increase in size. It's worth pointing out as well that only 2 out of 13 A-League men's teams are like playing 2 fixtures a week. You know what I mean? Like it's only Sydney and Mariners who have these midweek fixtures where they're traveling across Asia. Whereas all the other A-League teams have a full week to recover. As Austin Ayubi, he's been very bright in this first half, Austin Ayubi. G'day, Ethan. I did work with the Mariners for a time. Haven't worked for the A-League. But says Chris Wood is the best striker in the world right now. I mean, he is loving life at Nottingham Forest, isn't he? And hey, it was a dream signing for Auckland FC, and hopefully we do see him in the A-League maybe sometime in the future. Whether that is at Auckland or maybe Wellington. Where's Chris Wood from? I mean, Butter is a New Zealander. Our Kiwi friends in the chat. Always great to see you here. Where is Chris Wood? Is he from Auckland? Or is he from Wellington or somewhere else in New Zealand? Let us know. Because that would probably sway his decision, you'd imagine. Intellectual also says, I hope Chris Wood would come back to Auckland one day. Mick Ball says he's from Auckland. There you go. There you go. Thanks for that as well, Marcus. Auckland. There you go. So who knows? Could we see Premier League striker, current Premier League striker, Chris Wood, join Auckland in the future? Would hope so. But it says Hamilton, which is an hour and a half drive from Auckland. He's not from Auckland. Close enough. Close enough. Adelaide United, they have been really pushing here at the end of this first half as we enter injury time. We just have... Well, this is interesting. Nathan Paul's receiving some instructions on the sideline. Centre back Nathan Paul. So you wonder... I mean, could that mean a change in shape? We did see it a couple times in the Mariners where they go to a back 5. 1 minute added on here. So that'll be interesting. Unless maybe they're looking to get Tap in midfield. That could be an option for the Mariners. Again, Adelaide finding some space going forward. Parias down the right. Jovanovic with that early goal. It's been Adelaide who have really dominated this first half. Hey, everything has gone their way. Mariners have had a couple opportunities in this half, that's for sure. Koal had a great chance with a header. Nice piece of play, which feels like ages ago now. But this Reds team, they are fresh and they are looking real good. But the scoreline is still 1-0. That is worth pointing out. And it is halftime at Cooper Stadium. 1-0 scoreline to the Reds. If you're an Adelaide United fan, you're probably pretty happy with that performance. Very strong showing for the Reds. Probably hoping for a couple more goals on the score sheet, though. Mariners still in this one. Maybe some changes to come at the halftime break. Olga says, Moragas betrayed the Jets, but I still like him. Ryan says, the way I see Chris Wood coming to the A-League would be a loan move if Bournemouth buy him and loan him to out for a season or two to Auckland. That would be interesting. That would be interesting to do an Alex Paulson. That would be interesting. Hey, we're going to play Griddle very shortly, the A-League play guessing game, where we're going to test the A-League knowledge live here on stream. So we'll jump into that very shortly. Make sure to hit the like button if you haven't done so already. Support the channel, support the stream. We are all about growing Australian football, growing the A-League. And great to see you guys here for this live watch on tonight. Griddle time. That's right. It's Griddle time. It's Griddle time. So for those that don't know, Griddle is a game here where we have to guess A-League players. So we're testing our A-League knowledge here. And we've done all right the last couple streams when we've played Griddle. So you guys can, of course, play. It's made by Ultimate A-League. It's griddlegame.com. New game every 24 hours. Griddle time. Brisbane Roar, Western Sydney Wanderers, MacArthur are there. We're looking for players who have got at least 2 red cards. Players who have won Player of the Season, which always catches me out. And over 3,000 days since they last played a game. Okay. All right. 2 red cards for Brisbane. 2 red cards for Brisbane. You know who I'm going to go for here. I don't know if he's got 2 red cards. I think he's got at least one. I feel like I can remember one. Danny Tiato from Brisbane Roar. 2 red cards. Good start. That's a bit of a throwback as well. Played many years ago for Brisbane Roar. Former Socceroo too, I believe. Danny Tiato. Over 3,000 days since they played a game for Brisbane Roar. We can go for Alex Brosk here. Of course, Sydney FC legend. But did start his early career with the Queensland club. 3,000 days since they played a game for Western Sydney Wanderers. So we're looking for maybe a player who played really early on since the last game. Maybe like Dino Kresinger, who was their striker for season 1, I think. There we go. Dino Kresinger. Didn't score too many goals for Wanderers, for memory. 2 red cards for Western Sydney Wanderers. I think we can go Marcelo here, right? I think we can go Marcelo. Yeah, there we go. Okay, good start. Good start. Good start. Player of the season at their club, and has also picked up 2 red cards. Now, that's an interesting one. Now, that is a tricky one. I mean, Liam Reddy, I've got a feeling Liam Reddy won player of the season at Mariners 1 year. Has he picked up a couple of red cards? That's a tricky one. Player of the season at the club and also got 2 red cards. Let's go for this left one. 3,000 days. So a player from a long time ago who won player of the season at their club. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. I mean, did Danny McBreen... dude, this is testing my memory. I'm pretty sure Danny McBreen picked up player of the season at Mariners. Damn it. He won the Golden Boot that season. Didn't pick up player of the season. I was thinking of 2013. Long time ago now. 2 red cards, played the season. I'm going to go Liam Reddy because I'm not going to think of anyone else. Hey, oh, dude. We got it. We got it. Played the season at MacArthur SC. Last year, I think, was Ivan Vujica, or the year before. Wanderers and MacArthur SC. Aspero Potomides. And for Brisbane MacArthur SC, we will go Tommy Orr. Tommy Orr. Okay, dude, we were close. Oh, dude, we were close. Oh, goodness me. So many players we could have gone for there. Aaron Moyes in there. Oh, Matty Ryan was in there. Yeah, Trent Sainsbury played the season at Mariners. Damn. I feel ashamed of myself as a Mariners fan for missing that one, that's for sure. All right, there's my answers for Griddle. Eight out of 9. Cheers, intellectual. 8 out of 9. We'll take that. We'll take that. Let's have a look at the stats from our recent Griddle games. These are the stats that we've got here so far. A lot of 8s. A lot of 8s. Only a few 9s. Only 8 9s. A lot of 8s there for our Griddle stats. Our average is 7.3, which we got to take. We're happy with that. We're happy with that. So that's Griddle for today, everyone. Second half in this game is coming up shortly. Mariners. Nathan Paul, the centre back, was receiving some instructions, which was interesting to see, just before the halftime break. So we wonder whether we're going to see the young central defender come on. So let's have a look at some of the other matches coming up this weekend as well. Of course, we're going to be live later tonight for the Melbourne derby. We saw Newcastle Jets grab a big upset win. It's probably fair. I mean, it's only round 2, but you'd probably call this an upset win. 2-1 over MacArthur SC. Incredible penalty save at the end by Ryan Scott. And well deserved. I was really impressed with Newcastle last night. I went down to this game. The matchday vlog is out right now on the channel. Check that out. Of course, 1-0 at the moment to Adelaide United over Mariners. We are going to be live for the Melbourne derby straight after this one. Perth Glory Wellington Phoenix is shaping up to be a really interesting matchup because we need to see a response from Perth Glory. We simply need to see something from Perth Glory because they were awful last week, losing 6-1 to MacArthur. Wellington Phoenix, we don't know what we're going to get from them. A lot of new players in that team might still be, taking some time to gel. So, I tipped a Phoenix win in my predictions this week, but you never know what's going to happen at a Perth Glory home game. This game is going to be the fun one as well. Auckland FC, Sydney FC tomorrow, shaping up to be a really exciting watch. Two teams who won last week. And then to round out for round 2, Western United, West Sydney Wanderers tomorrow afternoon. One matter, will he make his debut? That's a big question for that one. And then, of course, tomorrow night as well. Tomorrow night, we are going to be live for our round 2 week recap. We did our first live round recap last week for round 1 on Sunday evening. And it's a new thing that we're trialing on every Sunday night at 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time. We're doing a full round recap, just talking about all the games for an hour. And it's a fully live discussion with you guys. It was a lot of fun last week. So hopefully, guys, you can join us tomorrow night for the round 2 live recap. And I'm sure there'll be plenty to talk about once again. Good to see Pichu in the chat here. Tonight says, I guess Sainsbury technically counts as player of the season. It won't when he gets a game this season. Trent Sainsbury, player of the season. I mean, yeah, I think he won it. He must have won it back in 2013. He must have. Intellectual says, I'm pretty excited for the Western versus Western game. That's right. The two West teams playing each other. As Ethan says here, Wellington going 4 hours to Perth. Will be hard, but I think they could do it. Yeah, obviously, I mean, one of the biggest trips in domestic football around the globe, isn't it? Going from New Zealand to Perth. Quite the trip. And as someone pointed out, I can't remember who it was. But someone pointed out in a stream the other day that Auckland, that you can actually get direct flights apparently from Auckland to Perth, whereas from Wellington to Perth, apparently you have to do a changeover in Australia, in like Melbourne or something. So who knows? That might be an advantage for Auckland if they can just fly straight to Perth. Anyway. So second half coming up just around the corner. Let's have another look at the lineups. Adelaide United have looked pretty good in this game, we got to say. Luki Ivanovic getting the goal. He hasn't been particularly involved all that much, but was in the right place, right time to get the goal. But Austin Ayubi has looked very lively on the left. Stefan Mork has had some good opportunities in this game. And as Newey Jets mentioned earlier in the stream, Dylan Parias getting really high up the pitch as well. So they're looking good, Adelaide. They're looking very fluid. For the Mariners, just limited opportunities in that first half, unfortunately. Hopefully we can create a little bit more in that second half. Bailey Brantman on the right-hand side had a really nice cross about halfway through that first half to find Ali Kowal. Let's have a look at the stats from this game so far. Adelaide United, these come from Google, 7 shots for the Reds, 2 on target. 2 shots for the Mariners, just the 1 on target. And you can see the possession really favoring the Reds here. Almost 2/3 of possession have gone the way of the home team. As you can see, the pass accuracy is right up there, 92%. That is very high. That is very, very high. Passing play has been good. To be fair, a lot of passes have just been played along their back 4. But still, very solid. Very solid first start from the Reds. But I think for Adelaide, they do have to try and capitalize on these chances and grab at least another goal because Mariners have the quality to hurt teams at any point in a game. Dominating the stats is intellectual. Yep. Here we go. Here's a live ladder, everyone. Here's a live ladder, of course, only a couple games into the competition. Couple rounds into the league. MacArthur SC still top despite losing last night, but we could well see Auckland, Sydney, maybe Melbourne City jump into top position with a win. Actually, potentially even Wellington or Western. Anyone could jump into top position with a win this weekend. But this win for Adelaide will take them high up on the ladder. Mariners, of course, drew last week to Melbourne Victory. And potentially a first loss on the cards of the A-League season here. Mariners still yet to score a goal. 3 halves of A-League football into the season. As we can see here, obviously Perth Glory at the bottom with that big 6-1 loss last week. So Macarthur SC. I mean, look at Macarthur SC. Two games in, Macarthur SC, 7 goals scored, 3 conceded after just 2 games. Ethan says, I didn't expect Adelaide to do this good. Look, on their day, they're a really, really good team, Adelaide United. They really are, especially at home. The thing that has just really let them down for me, especially in recent seasons, is just their shaky defense. The shaky defense has really, really let them down. And look, it's a shame for them at the moment that they're still missing, new signing Bart Vreens and Jordan Elsey, who probably would be starting in defense for them in this game. And of course, the Mariners, no Trent Sainsbury. But Brad Tapp's looked good at the back. It hasn't been an awful performance in the Mariners. I think it's just been pretty dominant from the Reds. I think the Mariners haven't necessarily done much wrong in this game tonight. Just got to try and get ourselves on the ball a little bit more, try and push the opposition back, get a bit of momentum. All it takes is one chance, one moment. You got one shot. Don't miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. All right. So, what are our predictions for the second half? It's about to get underway at a very packed Cooper Stadium. We're getting a look on the broadcast now at the safe standing zone, which looks awesome. The Mariners look like they're out on the pitch. Adelaide United aren't out on the pitch. So that is potentially why the second half is being delayed. Mariners, will we see a change from them? Nathan Paul was receiving instruction at the end of the second half. Let's do our quick little Instagram story here. Going to share the stream. Get it back here. All right. So, the Reds, can they capitalize in the second half? Can they find another goal? Or will the Mariners bounce back in this second period? Dude, they are throwing in so many ad breaks right now. Of course, great. It's also great that this game is on free-to-air TV. Also, it's on 10 Bold, 10 Play, as well as Paramount Plus. They've got the back-to-back Saturday games on free-to-air TV, which is always great to see. Mark is with his prediction for the remainder of this game. Mariners to score to make it 1-1 full-time. Look, considering how good Adelaide are looking at the moment, I'd probably take the draw at this stage, to be fair. Yeah, which wouldn't be a bad result away to Adelaide. Ethan's back in 2-2. Ethan's back in 2-2. I would take a draw. Newey Jets is also backing 1-1 prediction as well. I would take that. And I think you look at the players on the field for the Mariners. There are players who are capable of scoring when they are given the opportunity. All right, the teams are finally back on the pitch. Adelaide are back out there. Central Coast Mariners, all eyes on the Mariners, whether they have made a change for the second half. Dude, it looks like we have. It looks like it might well be a back five, which is an interesting change from Mark Jackson. But having a look at that wide angle there, it looks like it might be a back five for the Mariners. Second half is underway. Central Coast Mariners trailing Adelaide United here, 1-0. We're going to keep an eye on this Mariners lineup, especially in the second half. If there's been any tweaks, as we suspect. Thanks for joining us for this live watch long. We're going to be live after this one as well for the Melbourne Derby. Well, Nathan Paul is certainly on the field right now and keeping an eye on who has maybe made way. And I'll tell you what, it may well be one of the strikers. Bailey Brantman's still in the field. The two midfielders are still there as well. Oh no, Ali Kowal. I'll tell you what, I think it's Storm Roo. Storm Roo. Oh, this is a real reshuffle for the Central Coast Mariners. Wow. It looks like Storm Roo has made way for Nathan Paul here, and Mariners have transitioned to a back five. Mickey Docker has gone to right wing back, Lucas Moragas on the left. So Mark Jackson not happy with the team setup in the first half. Well, looks like Sabit Nyor also on the pitch. The graphic there, the substitute graphic, shows Sabit Nyor is also coming as well. And yep, there he is, number 17. Playing off that left-hand side as well. So, big changes. Big changes for the Mariners. We'll see whether those changes pay off in the end. But that is a big call from Mark Jackson. Again, it's something that we did see Mark Jackson do a couple times throughout last season. I remember away to Melbourne victory. Mariners played with a back five, and it worked out really well for us. We ended up winning that game. So hopefully this means that Mariners can try and wrestle back a bit more control. Nathan Paul, a lot of people expected, I think, Nathan Paul to step in place of Trent Sainsbury when he was ruled out for the start of this season. Brad Tapp given the nod at centre back, which I don't mind. But Nathan Paul, young defender, tall, strong, still very young. Played a handful of games last season and gets another opportunity here, left-sided centre back. And Moragas, it's going to be good because it's going to allow these wing backs to get really high up the pitch now. We're going to see Moragas, and this is where these guys flourish as well, especially Moragas, who's maybe had to do a lot of defending in that first half. Moragas will be allowed a bit more freedom to get forward on more occasions. This is good play. McCalmont, edge of the box here for the Mariners. Looking to find a way forward here, but this is a good start because we're pinning Adelaide back here. Right-hand side, Brantman with space. Good run, Bailey Brantman. Still going on, Bailey Brantman. Good defending in the end. The Reds get it away. That was well done by Ryan Kitto. So beating your new signing for the Mariners. He's on the field on that left-hand side. Moragas is forward. Dude, this is a bright start. This is a bright start here for the Central Coast. Looking to make a breakthrough here. Looking to get the equalizer early on in the second half. Moragas, infield. Wingback's getting a lot of time on the ball here. We'll get that updated Mariners lineup graphic on the screen shortly. Because it's a real reshuffle for the Mariners, going to pretty much a 5-2-3 if you want to call it that. But I don't mind it. Mark Jackson, he's a brave coach. If something's not working, he will change it. Oh, Brett Cullen. That's a shaky pass. Cut out by Ayubi. Adelaide in possession. Interesting to see that Ali Kowal was the striker taken off. Ryan Edmondson still on the field. So Kowal only getting 45 minutes of football. Same for Storm Roo. Adelaide United. I'll tell you what, second goal here for the Reds would be huge at this stage. Just to give them a real comfortable buffer now. And the Reds are clearly, I mean, despite taking the lead, they have not taken their foot off the pedal. They have been pushing. Interesting to see the Jules win rate percentage on the broadcast. Pretty even for both sides. 53 for Adelaide, 47 for Mariners. So Jules have been pretty even. 9 tackles either way. There you go. Those numbers, pretty even. Of course, the numbers mean nothing in the end. It's all about goals. Adelaide with more passes, many more passes at this rate. Docker. Chance on the right. Delivery's blocked by Kikianis. But this is much more positive from the Mariners. The way that we started this second half is good. Looking much more promising. Much more time on the ball now. Oh, it's a poor giveaway from McCalmont, middle of the pitch. He can't afford to give that away because look at the Reds. Down the right hand, Parillas. The touch just lets him down. So close to breaking away there, Adelaide. But Alfie McCalmont cannot afford to give the ball away so cheaply like that. He has shown some fantastic passing range in his first few games in a Mariners shirt, Alfie McCalmont. And I still believe he's set for a big season. So here's a look at the new look Mariners formation for this second half. Looks to be a 5-2-3. Nathan Paul on left centre back. Caltech playing as that central player in the back three. Mikael Docker, right wing back after playing on the left midfield position in the first half. So front three. Sabit Nyor on the left, Ryan Emerson through the middle, and Bailey Brantman, who's been bright in this game once again on that right flank. You've got a lot of pace. You've got a lot of pace there, especially with Nyor and Brantman in those wide areas. A lot of danger. Attacking thirds, they're showing on the broadcast, Adelaide United favouring the left-hand side for their attacks. 40% of their attacks going on that left wing. Melbourne Victory have just released their lineup for the Melbourne Derby. Duncan, Gary Boss, Hamill, Rawlins, Valadon, Teague, Machash, Valupale, Piscopo, Virgos. So that's 2 changes for Melbourne Victory. So Fornaroli out, Virgos in. Fornaroli to the bench. Arzani's on the bench. He returns from suspension. But, of course, Roderick Miranda is out for the Melbourne Derby tonight. We will be live for the Melbourne Derby later tonight. So no Roderick Miranda for Victory tonight. But Virgos gets his first A-League start for Melbourne Victory. There you go. And there you go. Perfect timing. Nui Jets, who asks, do you think Bruno will start tonight? Virgos in. That's right. Nikos Virgos, Greek striker, scored a few goals in the Australia Cup. Given a start here for Victory. Bruno Fornaroli missing that crucial penalty in round 1 away to Mariners. So Virgos given the opportunity. 2 good strikers there. Here come the Mariners. Moragas flying down the left. Ball's just too heavy. The delivery. Lucas. What a chance. Sabit Nyor was flying on the inside and the right pass and he would have been in. So close. As Stable Gravity says here, wasted chance. Absolutely. Great opportunity. 10 minutes into this second half. Adelaide still with just the 1-goal lead, but Mariners much more positive with these changes in the second half. As Adelaide look to move down the right-hand side. Parillas in behind. He gets his delivery. Well, misses everyone. Could have gone anywhere. Took a little deflection too. Back in again. Away by Moragas. Now McCalmont. Touches in the opposition box. 16 for Adelaide, just 4 for the Mariners. So that stat is certainly skewed. Adelaide spending much more time in Mariners territory compared to Mariners in Adelaide territory. Kito delivers away by McCalmont. Then Brantman still in the danger area, though. Still, oh, that's going to be stopped. Harry Steele, his clearance straight into the referee there. Jonathan Barrero, referee tonight. Marcus is backing a big win for victory tonight. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what victory side we get tonight in terms of, will they show up and absolutely turn it on? We saw some big performances from them in the Australia Cup, but we'll see. I think they will have a tricky time with the City team. City were looked defensively pretty solid against Newcastle last week. Moragas flying forward here for the Central Coast Mariners again. Got to try and find a team. Oh, that's no foul, says the ref. He's pushed over. But the Reds play on. The flag is up here for Adelaide. So Lucas Moragas, on a couple occasions, has had the opportunity to fly forward here. And that's what this new formation for the Mariners is allowing those wing-backs to do. Giving them a little bit of freedom, hey. A little bit of freedom just to get further up the pitch. Because now, Nathan Paul's doing a lot of covering. Sort of covering the space behind Lucas Moragas. Because this is the kind of guy who really flourishes getting forward, hey. His strengths are when he's, moving forward in attack. Whipping crosses in. McCalmont's getting forward now. Savit Nyor on the left. Again, this is good. This is much better for the Mariners and Adelaide United. Starting to be pinned back just a little bit. The Reds having to utilize a counter-attack in the second half. Docker with a bit of space on the right. Slows it down. The problem for the Mariners here as well is that we're not really getting the numbers in the box at this stage. Edmondson sort of feels like he's the only real target. Docker, again, he doesn't seem... Docker seems reluctant to play across into the box just because Edmondson is sort of outnumbered there, hey? Adelaide. Well, here's a great chance for the Reds. Jovanovic, good ball forward for Parius, who can fly forward. Adelaide are in behind looking for number 2. Parius delivers. Strong block by Parej Cullen. Mork's header sails over the bar. But Adelaide United, that's what they can do, man. With the pace they have, that was a good move from the Reds. Great move. Looking very dangerous there. And that's the thing for the Mariners. As the Central Coast continue to commit numbers forward here, as we try and chase this game, it's going to leave the gaps. Basically, we're just going to have a back 3 that Adelaide can try and, exploit the spaces. And the Reds, well, they're making their first substitution of the game. Ben Falami, double change here. Ben Falami on for Austin Ayubi on that left-hand side. Ben Falami, big off-season change. Joining from rivals Melbourne Victory. Ryan White is also coming onto the field as well. Ryan White, young player who got some decent game time in the Australia Cup. Started as striker in the Australia Cup semi-final match against Melbourne Victory. More of a midfield player, but given the opportunity up top once again, Ryan White. I tell you what, that's a really interesting call, considering they've got, if I'm not mistaken, Archie Goodwin is on the bench tonight, who is a more natural striker. So maybe a bit of an interesting call there. Fascinating call there from Adelaide United head coach Carl there. But anyway, Ben Falami's on for his Adelaide United A-League debut for the Reds. Lucas Moragas again looking dangerous. Brantman on the right, inside the box here. Here's the chance for Brantman. Back for Moragas. Edmondson's probably offside. He scored, but it's surely offside. It's offside, but that was better. It was good. It was showing the signs. It's showing the signs. Newey just says, I hope we see Archie Goodwin New Jets also says Moragas has been really good in the second half. Very good indeed. Very, very good. Great chance there, though, for the Mariners. I mean, Ryan Edmondson, it was a good finish, but he was certainly offside there. Another change here for Central Coast Mariners, and Bailey Brandman, who's been pretty bright in this game, is going to be substituted. Vitor Feiahau will come on and play on that right-hand side. Feiahau, who did start last week against Victory and midweek in China, on the bench tonight, but the Brazilian winger is on. So that is now 3 changes made from the Mariners, 2 changes made from Victory. We've still got half an hour to go in this game. So some fresh legs on the pitch for both sides. Edmondson, great chance. Feiahau, your scores. It's in. And Sabine, your scores. Mariners equalise. Another mix-up in the box, but Mariners capitalise. Oh, what a moment for Sabit. What a moment. Mariners have the equaliser. Hopefully Feiahau isn't injured. What a goal. The long ball from Caltac, fantastic. Edmondson with a chase. Did so well to win it. Delianov couldn't hold on to it. Sabitnyor's scored here, but I'm concerned for Vitor Feiahau, who has really collided with Delianov here. What a moment. Sabitnyor scoring for the Mariners. And as Newey Jets says here, the 1-1 prediction is on indeed. Huge moment for the Central Coast, who grab the equaliser. And I tell you what, it has been coming. It has well and truly been coming. Sabitnyor, second A-League game for the Mariners, and gets his first A-League goal for the Mariners as Vitor Feiahau. Well, good to see him returning to his feet, but heavy collision with Adelaide keeper James Delianov. And as Ethan says here in the chat, how did Edmondson win that? I mean, that was fantastic. The long ball, and then Ryan Edmondson just using his strength to outmuscle. It must have been Isaias there. And Sabitnyor, who has been given the opportunity at Mariners this season, signing from Heidelberg United. And credit to Feiahau putting his body on the line, and Sabitnyor there to finish it off. Wow, it is 1-1, and we still have lots of football to go in Adelaide. But the Reds, who have been pretty dominant, especially in that first half, so dominant, had the chances. All of a sudden, it is 1-1. It is 1-1. So here's the new look lineup for the Mariners. Feiahau is on the right. Good to see he's up and all right. Sabitnyor playing off that left-hand side. For Adelaide, Ben Falami playing on the wing on the left. Substitute Ryan White is also on up top. Make sure to hit the like button to support the stream. Don't forget, we will be live for the Melbourne Derby straight after this one. Huge one tonight. Melbourne Derby. City versus Victory. Melbourne City got a win round 1 away to Newcastle. Victory 0-0 draw against Mariners. Caltac looking for the long ball again. This is certainly a feature of the Mariners game this season. Looking to utilize the long ball on occasion. But what a moment for Mariners, man. Equalizing. Sabitnyor with the tap in. Fantastic. The Reds. This is a good run here, but good defending in the end. He's going to fall for Clough, though. And another good block. Moragas that time. The Reds, they haven't really had many opportunities in the second half. We are 20 minutes into the second half. Parach Cullen made a good block earlier on when Paris got him behind. Aside from that, the Reds haven't really tested all that much in the second half. It's been a much more even contest. If anything, Mariners have been the better side in the second period. Well, the Reds now back on the ball, looking to control things a bit more, regain control of this game. Right-hand side, Paris. He's been good tonight, hasn't he? Looking to get the ball inside, and he's won a corner. Dylan Paris playing it right back tonight for Adelaide, but has basically played as a right winger. Very, very dangerous. Great duel in this game. Hey, Paris against Moragas. Two very pacey wide players. It's a corner opportunity here for the Reds. I mean, this is a big opportunity for the Reds. Third corner of the game. In-swinger was good towards White. Out for another corner, I reckon. No, goal kick. It is a goal kick. Adelaide's not happy. I'll tell you what, that did look like it should have been another corner. It looked like the last touch did come off Nathan Paul there. But we'll take the goal kick. Mariners playing out from the back here. Long ball, looking for Fei-Hao. Hito Fei-Hao controls it. Got to stay on his feet here, surely. Fei-Hao, come on. Wins it back after initially losing it. Forward for Edmondson. Docker. Switch of play is ambitious, but it works out for Moragas. We're coming forward again here, Mariners. Sabitan Yor on the left. Gets around his defender. That's surely gone out of play. It's a goal kick. Much better second half from the Mariners. I tell you what, this tactical switch from Mike Jackson has worked out really well, as looks like Jay Barnett is down and injured. In fact, it is Kikianis, young defender. But going to this back five has really worked for the Mariners. It's allowed the wingbacks to push on. System is proving to be a little bit tricky for Adelaide to deal with at this stage. This Kikianis is just receiving a bit of treatment here. After that clash with Fei-Hao a moment ago. It wasn't really clear how he injured himself. He's drinking the pickle juice right now. Kikianis. Another one of these young players coming through at Adelaide United. Of course, both these teams well known for producing fantastic young players. The youth academies are some of the best in the A-League. As we know, Nesri Nkunda, probably the most notable one, who was at Adelaide for the last few years, now over at Bayern Munich. Really good collection of Mariners fans in that away bay as well today. Great to see. On that right-hand side in the corner. One. 20 minutes to go here in Adelaide. It's all square. That's right, only edits. Alzani and Fornaroli benched for Virgos and Piscopo. Shocking for me as a Victory fan. I mean, to be fair, Alzani hasn't played much football of late. Dropped for the Australia Cup final. Not involved last week. So I can understand him being on the bench. Fornaroli, though, for Virgos, that's an interesting call. Fornaroli missing that penalty last week against Mariners. So Nicholas Virgos gets the chance. Well, here's a change for the Mariners. Nico Duarte is coming on here for Ryan Edmondson, by the looks of things. Another change for the Mariners. Nico Duarte, who scored his first Mariners goal during midweek away in China. Huge moment for the youngster to come on and be the hero. Nico Duarte. Really nice finish too. against Shanghai Port, where he scored right at the end there to give, which made it a pretty nervy finish for Shanghai Port in the end. In the Asian Champions League Elite, 3-2 loss in the end for Mariners midweek. Parach Cullen claims it. Another solid game for Parach Cullen so far up to this point. He certainly looks like, I mean, this is 3 consecutive starts now for Dylan Parach Cullen, 18-year-old goalkeeper. It certainly looks like now he will be the first choice goalkeeper going forward. Hopefully no injuries or, aside from any slip-ups, he will be the starting Mariners goalkeeper by the looks of things. Here's a chance for Mariners to spring forward. Docker, Fahau down the right. Here we go. Fahau short for Docker. Great play. The 2 Brazilians linking up here. Looking to find a route through. Adelaide United have had to do a lot more defending in this second half. That is for sure. After a pretty dominant display, Mariners only had 2 shots in that first half. Adelaide with 7 at the halftime break, and Mariners have turned this game around. And at this rate, probably look favourites to score a second at the way it's going. Coming forward again, tap up from defence. Fahau in support. Again, like not many options. Well, we've got Enyors in the box. Duarte's there. It's a good passing play for the Mariners. It's a little bit quicker now. There's a little bit more pace about the Mariners play. Almost Clutch says Piscopo has been playing well at least. Yeah, had a decent game at Mariners last week. Owen says, my 1-run prediction is looking good. Ball comes in from Moragas. An easy claim for Delianov. Yes, we've talked about Melbourne Victory's lineup. Haven't seen City's lineup. Let me have a quick look right now. We will be live for the Melbourne Derby later tonight as well. As Adelaide make a couple more changes here, Yavi Lopez and Craig Goodwin. Adelaide fans wish. Archie Goodwin coming on to the field. So Kiki Arnis is coming off. Yavi Lopez is coming on in defense. And then Archie Goodwin. Well, who will he come on to replace? It is Stefan Mork. So Goodwin, Archie Goodwin, getting his first competitive appearance here for Adelaide United. Young striker with an immense amount of potential, and you can see Stefan Mork here clearly struggling with that left leg. Hamstring. Hopefully it's nothing too serious for the midfielder. New Jets football loves it. Of course, Archie Goodwin was a fan favourite at Newcastle. And I'll be honest, surprised to see that Newcastle weren't keen to keep him around. I mean, maybe they were, but maybe it was Archie Goodwin that wanted the move. But he has made the move, Archie Goodwin. And look, there was an opportunity for Archie Goodwin to become the starting striker at Adelaide, especially with the departure of Ibasuki. But it looks like Luki Ivanovic is going to be the starting striker at the Reds this season. But if Archie Goodwin can get some good form, can grab some goals for his side, there is a chance. G'day, Average Target Frog. Good to see you here. Only Edit says Victory should be looking for a marquee centre midfielder to replace Broxham and Teague. And he will definitely move abroad, possibly Europe. I assume you're talking about Teague. Yeah, Ryan Teague. I could definitely see it happening. Ryan Teague is a fantastic defensive midfielder. That's for sure. New Jet says, I just love late Perth games. Keen as for tonight. Indeed, it'll be fun. Master FUT, g'day. I'm doing well, Master. Good to see you here. So 15 minutes left here. Adelaide 1, Mariners 1. Central Coast Mariners have been much better in the second half. Much, much better in the second half. Can we try and capitalize here? The Reds haven't really had many opportunities in the second half. Mariners have probably just been the better of the two sides in the second period. Oh, that's a shaky giveaway from Tap, but works out for Parach Cullen. Don't forget, we will be live straight after this one for the Melbourne Derby, which kicks off in just under an hour. City victory. Going to the game tonight. Can't wait. The Glory Phoenix game, I assume. Master, there you go. All the best, Master. Hope you enjoy it. Average Frog says no early Premier League game tonight, so it'll be good to watch the late Perth game. Here's a look at Adelaide's lineup right now. Goodwin is on. Archie Goodwin, that is. Not Craig Goodwin, as I mistakenly said earlier. So Ryan White will drop a little bit deeper as the Reds are in again here. Great chance for the Reds. For H. Cullen. Oh, my goodness. What a chance. And what a block on the line. How did the Reds not score there? So close indeed. Clough with a cross. Great block from Tap. The follow-up from Parias. And Docker with a block. H. Cullen. Did he make the save? I think he did. Fantastic from the young goalkeeper. Wow. Best chance of this second half for Adelaide. Incredible. Dylan H. Cullen showing up big and Docker with a block on the line. So close indeed for the Reds. Who look, I mean, the Reds are going to be disappointed that they're trailing at this stage in the game. After a pretty impressive first half, it's got to be said. So I'm sure we are set for a frantic final few stages of this game. 12 minutes to play, then some injury time. We still haven't had a chance to look at the Melbourne City lineup at this stage. We've already talked about the Victory lineup, which was released a little while ago. City's lineup. Have City made any changes? Ooh, it's a start for Germain Ferreira at the back for City. Well, I'll tell you what, having a look at City's lineup here is Sabit and yours almost in behind. Cleared away by Delianov. It looks like City, well, I'll tell you what, they're either playing a back five or Kai Truan might be playing defensive midfield. That's actually probably more likely. No Jimmy Jagger for City tonight. He's suspended after receiving a red card last week. So it looks like Truan is playing defensive midfield. G'day, Evan. Sabit and your number 17. First A-League goal. How do you feel about him? Fantastic. Young player with a lot of potential and has looked very good in his first couple of appearances for the Mariners, and great for him to get his first goal. Great to see. Some Melbourne City. Ferreira in. Jago out for their lineup. This game's going to open up now, that's for sure, with 10 minutes to go. Ryan White down the right. That's a tongue twister. White back for Barnett. Fahau doing the defensive work. And Mariners can break here. Fahau takes it. Through the legs of Kito. Here's a chance for the Mariners. Edmondson ends up with it. Sorry, not Edmondson. He's not even on the field anymore. Duarte. Young striker on the field for the Mariners now. That's a great pass from McCalmont into the feet of Moragas, who's in behind. The cross. Again, just not the right delivery from Moragas. Like, he's had a good game. He's gotten to really good positions. Yeah. Almost Clutch says, Senor was the first player I saw in MPL, and I thought that guy's different. Well, he's certainly A-League quality. He's looked very, very good. Looks like Adelaide are preparing another change as well. Johnny Yull, sideline. I haven't heard of that guy, to be honest. Only edits. But, hey, we'd take any former Serie A players in the A-League, I'm sure. Have not heard of that guy, to be honest. $10 minutes remaining in Adelaide. Hasn't really been many stoppages in this game. Injury to Kikianis a bit early, but aside from that, not a lot. So I don't think we'll necessarily have all that much injury time. Is there a winner in this game? Is there a winner on the way? Couple more changes coming on here. Zach Clough coming off. He's had a good game today for Adelaide. Dangerous as always. Johnny Yeo coming on for the last 10 minutes. Well, dude, as a Mariners fan, much happier. Much happier with the second half. First half, we just couldn't break out. We just couldn't get any sort of momentum. But now, at this stage in the game, all it takes is one chance, one moment. Final change for the Mariners. An interesting one as well. Lucas Moraga is just coming off for Sasha Kozewski. So we might see Kozewski play at left wing back. Looks like we will. Looks like we will. Sasha Kozewski, another one of these players who have come through the Mariners Academy. Fantastic young player with a lot of potential. Struggled with injury last year. Given the opportunity at the end here. I mean, this game has certainly slowed down. Still, it's been a funny game, hasn't it? In terms of like the pace of the game, it's had a lot of times where it's just sort of slowed down. Stop, start, and then it'll just sort of all of a sudden spark into action. McCalmont trying to win it. He's on the receiving end of some contact here, and he's hurt. Alfie McCalmont clearly in some pain, holding the knee. Decent crowd, says Master FUT. Yeah. Great crowd. I don't think we've seen... Have we seen the crowd figure yet? Has anyone seen the crowd figure? I haven't seen the crowd figure yet, but it'd be up there. It's, tell you what, it's probably near capacity. Great crowd. Cooper Stadium, one of the best A-League stadiums, man. It's fantastic ground. Just looks like such a good ground for A-League football. I've never been. I'd love to get there one day. Fei Hao looking to get in behind. Doesn't quite find it. The Reds under pressure here. You can see Mariners pressing a little bit more. And that's well done by Fei Hao. It's going to be a throw. But you love the commitment. Love the commitment. And the desperation. That's what we want to see. Huge opportunity here. Dude, considering the second half, I almost feel the Mariners deserve a winner here at the end. It's been much better in the second half. You got to praise Mark Jackson for the tactical change to get us back into this game and really sort of become the better team in this game. Not long to go now. 5 minutes left of regular time. Won't have much injury time for sure. Maybe 3-4 minutes. Would be surprised to see any more than that, to be honest. Hasn't really been many stoppages at all. Benches have been emptied. I don't think either side can make another change, as far as I'm aware. But does it open up? Both teams almost playing a little bit safe. Neither team is really going for it. I thought Adelaide might have really sort of pushed for this a little bit more. They're showing the Paramount Plus player index. Dylan Parise is up there. Brad Tapp's up there as well. Here's Inyor. Looking to get a cross in. Javier Lopez. Ooh! Shaky touch. Mariners are in behind. Sabitanyor, why have they cut the camera away on a crucial moment? I hate when they do that. They do that way too often. Like in a crucial moment when the action is on, they for some reason cut to a close angle or a cutaway. It happens so often. It happens so often. Just keep the camera on the action. No need to cut away like that. And Mariners, well, they've got a free kick in a promising position here. Docker to deliver. Come on. Delivery's good. Flick on. Oh. Nathan Paul getting his head in it, but straight into the hands of James Delianov. Central Coast Mariners, a much improved second half performance. The switch to a 5-2-3 has worked wonders. Adelaide United, they've made a string of changes. Haven't really been able to make an impact just yet. Archie Goodwin's there. Youngster Ryan White. Johnny Yoles over on the right-hand side for Adelaide. But they haven't really had the opportunities, aside from that one crazy moment where Parej Cullen made a great save at the back. Falami trying to weasel his way through, and it's a foul away the Mariners. So, with only a few minutes to go here, there might just be one or two opportunities left for a side to grab a winner. Don't forget, we're going to be live straight after this one for the Melbourne Derby. So make sure to join us for that. The lineups are in. A couple key changes. Of course, both teams have players out with suspension. Virgos starting up top for victory tonight in the Derby. Josh Rawlins in at the back to replace Miranda. Melbourne City, they've brought in a defender Ferreira. And it means Kai Truan will be expected to play a role in midfield in place of Jimmy Jego, who's out. Mariners, again, pressing a little bit here just to try and win the ball hard to park, and they do so. McCalmon into the feet of Kazewski, who finds Fahal. Heavy contact. Referee not interested in the foul, and that's a great, wow, Kazewski. That he's come all the way over from left wing back to win the ball. And there's a real energy about this Mariners side right at the end here. Much more energy from Mariners compared to Adelaide now. Much more energy. Matthew says, Senor is a good player. I mean, great for him to get his first goal tonight. And now it'll be a corner for Adelaide United. Archie Goodwin earning it. Off the feet of Caltac. Archie Goodwin. Has he even touched the ball yet since coming on? Archie Goodwin. Well, the Central Coast Mariners have certainly put in a performance that's deserving of at least a point. And now Adelaide United. Ethan Alagich. Left-footed delivery. Away by Paul. Another delivery swung in. It's going to fall for Anyor. Oh, Anyor could spring away here, but Isaias, good covering at the back there from the experienced midfielder / defender tonight. Of course, the Reds missing a couple key defenders still at the moment. So it's Isaias who's had to put in another shift at the back for the Reds. Hoko says Archie Goodwin betrayed the Newcastle Jets. Final stages. We're about to enter injury time. Adelaide looking to grab the winner here at the end. They're having some sustained attacking play at the moment. They haven't really had that in the second half like they did in the first. Injury time. How much we got? 4. 4 minutes added on. Paris on the right. Cutting inside. Oh, good run, but great challenge. Nathan Paul. That was very strong. Sabitanyor goes for the long option to find Fahal, and Fahal's on the end of it. Docker's arriving late in support. Here we go for the Mariners. Docker in behind on the right, looking to square it up. But, I mean, Duarte, you could see Duarte in the middle who's like asking for it. He was asking for the delivery, but surely going to make a near post run there, considering how difficult it was for Docker to get any sort of like power on that delivery, hey? Hoggo says here, just happy with the win in our first 2 games. Of course, Newcastle Jets, yeah. Getting that win last night. Dude, huge win. Very, very big win for the Newcastle Jets away to Macarthur last night. We did a vlog for that game. I went down to that game. The vlog's out on the channel right now if you want to check that out after the stream. Don't forget, we will be live for the Melbourne Derby straight after this one as well. Appreciate you guys tuning in for this live watch along. First of 2 watch alongs today. Hit the like button to support the channel. For how? Well, that's got to be a yellow card. I mean, it's a rugby tackle. Are you kidding me? It's not a yellow card. Ryan Kitto has virtually rugby tackled Fahau to the ground, and it's not even a yellow. That is astounding. That is such an easy yellow card. I'd love to know the referee's explanation as to why that is not a yellow card for Ryan Kitto. That is one of the easiest refereeing decisions you'll ever see. Great pass from Docker. In behind for Tap. Again, Duarte just not in the right position. Pass doesn't find him, but he needs to make a better run there. Tap giving him the delivery, but he's not there to receive it. Now, and now if that's going to be yellow card for Steele, that's ridiculous. Yep, yellow card for Steele for the exact same foul that Ryan Kitto just did. Inconsistent refereeing at its finest right there. Ryan Kitto literally rugby tackles a Mariners player, gets away with nothing. Harry Steele does the same thing, exact same thing, and gets the yellow. I've got no problem with Harry Steele getting a yellow, but we're just asking for consistency. That's all. Master FUT, didn't realize Ben Falami plays for Adelaide now. Yeah, big off-season move. Very late in the transfer window too. But I think it was a good move for Falami. He just wasn't getting the game time victory. Who are you going for in the Jets versus Bulls game? No, neither side. Neither side for sure. I was enjoyed the game as a neutral, that's for sure. This has been a decent game since it says average target frog. Yeah, it's been good. Good signs from both teams. So, this might be the final chance here. Adelaide with the corner. The Reds with the corner. And we are at the end of injury time. This might be the last opportunity. Aligic with the in-swing. You can see the safe standing zone behind goal. Looks great. Adelaide swings it in. Shaky touch from Kozewski. The clearance is made. Seconds remaining in this game. Full-time whistle. Is that the whistle? It is. I mean, no, it's not. A bit of confusion. I thought the ref blew the whistle. We play on. But time is now up right now. We have ticked past the 4 minutes. Adelaide sent it long. One last time. Goodwin can't control it. Fahau, is there one last attack for the Mariners? No, there's not. Full time. Mariners won. Adelaide won in the end. Tell you what, on the balance of play, to be fair, probably feels like a fair result. Mariners felt like we could have won it in that second half. Much improved second half performance there from Central Coast Mariners. Will take the point in the end. Adelaide United were pretty dominant in that first half. 1-1. And as Owen says here, yeah, we had a few people predicted. Hey, Owen predicted it. Newey Jets predicted it. Few predictions for a 1-1 draw. And it ended that way in the end. Join us live in about half an hour for the Melbourne Derby live watch along. Thank you very much for tuning in for this one tonight, guys. Mariners 1, Adelaide 1 in the end. Cheers, guys. See you in half an hour.